What are you guys' thoughts on, since we're talking about this movie thing, like the subliminal message, like the predictive programming in films, like where people say you'll see an old movie and now, almost like the Simpson prediction, now the technology or the stuff we're going through is actually happening now.
Oh.
But it happened in films like years prior.
Oh yeah.
What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I feel like
I almost feel like those are previews to like here's the practice.
Like, yes. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think
it's scary.
Things like before 9/11, for example, what was it, Pearl Harbor? Was that right before 9/11?
Well, there was actually a movie with Will Smith that was like a few years before 9/11, and they're playing a live CNN interview in this movie. You guys, I own the DVD. I'm an old collector of stupid shit.
Yeah.
If you guys get a chance to look at this movie, it's right in the beginning scene when Will Smith goes home with his wife, and there's a CNN clip. She's watching, what's that old guy that has like kids at 75 and 80 years old, that old dude on TV? He's like 80 and he's all fucking...
Oh, Larry King?
Larry King. So it's a Larry King interview on this movie, in the movie, and it looks like a legit interview, and the guy's talking to Larry King, and he says this right in the movie before this happened. He says, when buildings start, talking about national security, and he says, when buildings start blowing up, that's when people are going to listen. And it was like years before this attack even happened. So if you guys get a chance to check out the movie, it's right in the beginning.
It's scary.
Yeah,
well, there was a lot of that about COVID, too.
Well, no, they want to promote, like, patriotism in us, like, to prep us for a possible war. If there's a possible war going on, they want to, like, hype up all the people to be, like, patriotic. And these movies are made to make you angry and to be on the side. Like, even though... I don't know how I feel about the military personally. Like, I've just seen too many bad things. People come back and just they're not. There's
an immigration problem going right now. You know, like they say, some people are calling it like a somewhat of a type of invasion of some sort. But there's a film with Channing Tatum called American House or White House Down. They bring up an interesting part in that movie because the White House gets invaded, and they say there's a law in place where our current president, whoever our standing president is, doesn't have authority to just unleash our troops on American soil because of some like law that's in place. You know, and that when you watch that movie, it's like, ooh, it's kind of creepy because you got all these people here right now. What if something happens and, you know, Biden gives all our money to Ukraine and we can't just bring our troops here to help us? And so like when you know those predictive programming in films, that one kind of hits a little creepy right now with the times that we're in.
So what you're saying is a lot of our military is overseas and not here.
Even if they're here, there's a law in place. It's like a Latin name to it too. I forget what it's. I'd have to look up the term itself, but I have it written down because I did like an old show about it on my other podcast. But it's in place to where he just can't. Like if they came and started a war tomorrow, Biden can't bring the troops in Friday. Like it's just like, there's this law. Like so we'd be having to fight for ourselves.
But we can send people somewhere else in a second.
That's what we would hope that would happen as far as people would just disregard that kind of order to help our country. But I would hope it happened. But it's a real law that's in place, and it's kind of weird and creepy now that we have all these people coming in large amounts. So I just think it's weird because it's like a weird ass law in place.